All right, we're live. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What's going on, man?
Man, I'm sad, man. Terrible day.
Talk
I
to me.
lost
What happened?
I lost my account.
No way. How you lose your account on the first day of the week?
Making bad decisions.
Okay.
Man, I'm like, damn, I just spent all that money and got all that account active and stuff.
Okay. So,
It was a nice. I should have just stayed out of it, man.
all
I
right.
was only on a gold buy, nice profit, and then I kept trying to get in NAS. At first, I was buying, and then I sold. And price just kept wicking from one zone to the other zone. Like it was consolidating from one area.
Nasdaq today.
Yeah, I feel like between 9 to damn near almost 1.
All right. So, uh, do a 5 minute. Okay. So this was Nasdaq today. That's pretty much a narrow range day. So we have yesterday's close right here,
Uh-huh.
and right around New York Open, we broke yesterday's low. Again, made a new low on the day, tapping into a higher time frame zone for this big
Man,
push up.
yeah.
Yeah, I looked at Nasdaq a little bit, but I saw what was going on the Dow Jones and participated in that instead. That was over here today.
After the fact, I was like, shit. If I just
Yeah.
stayed out of Nasdaq, I would have been good. But I
So
kept trying to get back in on some. I didn't
yeah,
follow my trading rule. So
yeah.
should hate me alive.
That's why it's good to look at a bunch of different pairs because this was happening during the day, and you can
Hmm.
see one candle pretty much closed above the high of the day, and that's where I took my entry because there was so much volume, not even volume, but the the speed at which price was accelerating in. I was like, okay, if we break below this candle right here, then I'm out. But I got one candle, and of course, price just kept going to even to the target, but I was okay with the profit. Now with looking at Nasdaq on that full day, this is kind of tough. I mean, it's still tradable, but you have these big swings.
And I kept getting taken out.
Yeah,
I even went to the 1 minute, scale back up, man, got taken out again. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I wasn't following my trading
so how
rules.
many how many trades did you take today?
It said I took 9 trades.
9 trades.
I lost all 9. That is terrible.
Okay, so that's part of that. All right, that was part of what we talked about last night too. So it's like you have a specific dollar amount that you want to risk, whether it be like
Yeah.
200, 300.
Uh-huh.
Split that up into like 3 to 4 trades. I mean, max you should take.
Yeah.
Like if you have like 3 or 4 trades in the row that you lose, just call it a day. Just call it a
All right.
day. Yeah, because tomorrow we're gonna have major red news
Yeah.
at 10. So it sucks that you blew the account, but
Yeah.
that's all part of the process. You'll be able to get it. You'll be able to get another one.
I, I thought what you call it? I thought I was still good, but you can't see that threshold on Apex.
Oh, from when you're in profit.
The threshold, like how much before you get your account gets deactivated. So
So
if I at least know that, I for sure wouldn't have doing trying to get back in.
so with the trailing threshold, let's just say that you have a profit target of 1500, right?
Uh huh.
And that's on a 25K account. Now, if you're up, oh, your drawdown is 1500, I believe, as well, right? So
Yeah.
your profit target is 1500. Your trailing drawdown is 1500. So let's just say you're up
Hmm.
$1,000 on that 25K account. So your balance is 26K.
Hmm.
Your trailing drawdown now would be 500. So you can't go down to 24.5K. You get down to this after making 1,000, then yeah, because since you went up $1,000 in profit, so does your trailing.
Yeah, trailing goes up.
Right.
Yeah, that's just.
That
See,
goes
that's
with
why I
all
like.
accounts.
Yeah, that's why I like Top Step. It shows you like, okay,
Yeah,
you can't go
yeah,
below here, or you out of there.
yeah. Their dashboard is more robust.
Yeah, Apex, you don't know, and you kind of trading like you kind of estimating
Hmm.
what your
That's
drawdown is.
that's why it's important to just know your risk for that day. You don't want to risk the whole account on that day. That's not sustainable.
I know
Yeah,
that was me just being stupid.
it's all right. It's all right. It's this type of experience that'll get you to the point where you don't even make these mistakes anymore. It's a necessary pain sometimes. So it takes some of us longer than others. It took me a while because I was always on the mindset of, all right, I'm gonna flip this. I'm gonna flip this. I would do good one time, and then it would be just loss, 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 loss. But you're profitable. You pass the evaluation,
Yeah,
and when you get back up to that stage again, you're gonna realize that time is on your side. You already passed the account, so
right.
it's just getting win after win. Just focusing on winning and not for the home run.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I can't believe. I think yeah. Usually after three trades, I'm out, but I
Hmm.
don't know what got into me today.
Well, I think it was just the idea of, okay, this is a live account. I can get paid through this, right?
Yeah, that's
It's the
true.
excitement. It's the excitement.
Facts.
And the market makes us take a step back. Life makes us take a step back sometimes when we get excited or anxious. So, you know, you only lose when you just fully quit, right?
Yeah.
You've passed this already. You could do it again. I think one thing that you can adopt is just building out a little bit more of a playlist, looking at other instruments, and just paying attention to the price action. Because if you see the pattern developing,
Hmm.
it's the same thing that happens on Nasdaq as with all the other indices, as with gold. So, um, yeah, this was gold the other day. What did gold do today? I didn't. Yeah, I did one trade on gold.
Yeah, I got in a buy and go. I mean, I was up $200-300, but I eventually got out. But they kicked me out the account, I guess, because I hit my threshold on it. That's how I knew I blew it. I was like, "Fuck!" I got kicked out.
Uh, so you're already in the trade on gold, and
Yeah,
Um,
it kicked me out.
yeah.
I was like, yo, like my thing is still good. Gold was in profit like 200. So I don't know how that works because it said my account was at 23.9. So I should have still,
23.
yeah,
So you
23.
should
I should still been like good, but it kicked me out and said um it said I hit my threshold.
so that means you were up at one point like $450 or something.
Damn, I might have been.
Yeah. Um, so have you ever looked at the eval charts?
Yeah, I looked at it to see how it goes. But like you
Yeah.
know how as your profit goes up, you don't know like okay where you're currently at.
So I mean, let's just say you got a 100K account and your
Mhm.
target is to make 9%. So you got to get 109,000 and your drawdown is 5,000, hypothetically speaking. So if
Uh-huh.
you up 4%, which is 4,000,
Mhm.
that means you can only come back down to 99,000 before your account is out.
That's out of there.
And it's not no longer 95 because you built the account up.
Mhm.
I mean, in the end, that kind of protects you,
Yeah.
and it develops the habit of consistently just growing your equity
Account.
curve. Yeah,
Yeah.
your account up.
Instead of doing dumb stuff like I did. That makes sense.
Yeah, it protects you from those days where you lose a lot
Yeah,
and
that,
it
that's
hurts, right? We don't want to see that.
good. At all. Ah,
You don't want your account to have a deeper retracement. You just want it to keep expanding to the upside. Of
man,
course,
that's hard.
you're gonna have
Yeah,
dips. It's all right, but as long
yeah,
as those losses are small,
yeah.
yeah,
Ah,
it's all good. It's all good. You still can hit all your goals because it didn't take you more than a month to get funded,
yeah.
and not a lot of people can say they did that. Yeah, I think you did it in like 2 weeks.
Not, well, I blew a couple accounts and then the fourth account I did it in 5 days.
5 days.
Yeah, or 4 days,
That's
something like that.
that's faster than I passed any y'all.
Yeah, I did because
Seriously.
I was winning like majority of the trades, but I was moving two lots, just two contracts.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Two
wasn't as risky.
contracts.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it was making me like 200-300.
You say you do 200-300 each day. You'll be able to pass that in no time. In a week. 5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, you switch off from gold and Nasdaq, which is good, because you'll find at least 2 to 3 good trades between both of those pairs in a week, and all
Yeah.
it takes is 1 to 2 good trades a week to really grow your account.
Uh, Nas was just moving so weird today. I was like, man,
Yeah, I'm looking at it on the 15.
it was just like in that zone. And then one thing I didn't look, so I have two markups. When I went and looked at my other markup, I was like, shit, no wonder price pushed back up. It was on a weekly zone. It tapped that weekly zone and it pushed up. And then it came back down and broke it.
So this right here is a little 4 hour chart right here,
Hmm.
and yeah, we broke through the zone, and now
Hmm.
we're finding some type of support at the end of the day. But keep in mind, we broke below the previous day's low and we closed out of balance. Out of balance means outside of the previous day's range. So we could see a continuation of that trend, of the overall trend, after a retracement.
Hmm.
Because if this candle breaks this high, then we're probably going to just fill in this imbalance over here and come back down if we're going to continue this trend.
Hmm.
Looking at it from the whole month, yeah, we've just had all upside moves. Now we have this area right here where we could start to range, but if we start to break below, we could see a shift in the market. And besides, this is the closing week of the month, so we'll probably have a little bit pullback before we continue to the upside if we're going to continue this bullish trend that the indices have been on.
Mhm.
Yeah, Nasdaq above 20,000 still. I think Bitcoin fell even further when we were looking at it yesterday.
Yeah, it did fall. My friend's been holding it for like 2 weeks.
Holding buys?
Sales.
Oh, okay.
He's been holding sales for like 2 weeks. I'm like, dude, when you gonna get out? He's like, I'm gonna just keep riding it and push my stop loss, trim my
Okay.
stop loss.
Okay.
Like,
And as long as he's trailing, because some people hold some for like a month and then gets taken out at break even. And I'm like, bro, you waited all that time just to not get paid?
say that. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. Seriously. So yeah, Bitcoin today, it was already near the low of the day. Broke below. It's just creeping trend down. This was London. New York gave us a nice sequence over there where it continued going down. Nothing too interesting in my opinion though. High and low. But as we can see over here, retesting this little area to the left. So it'll be interesting to see what Bitcoin does at this level. So, did you sign up for another account, or are you going to be? What's your plan now?
I'm just trading my Apex. No, I'm sorry.
Top
Top
Step.
Step. Yeah,
Okay, okay,
I still got that account I'm working on.
nice. So, how
I'm
far are
gonna
you
get
from your goal?
after today. I was at 50,300.
Okay,
These losses I took, I'm at like 49.7. I know
that's
I
not
could get
bad.
it back because I did it last week, but
Yeah,
it's just it's pulling yourself out of there again. It's just like, sheesh.
yeah. We have a bunch of Canadian dollar news tomorrow, and then 10 a.m. we have major red news for the U.S. dollar.
Yeah.
So, um, I'd say when you look back at today, what was the I guess big thing that was tripping you up while you were off on your position and your direction?
Okay, so I was looking for the buy,
Mm-hmm.
and then as soon as I got in, it started pushing down. So I got out before it even hit my stop loss.
Okay, so you cut your losses short. Good.
Yeah, I cut my losses short. And then I was talking to my friend, and I think that's when everything just messed me up.
Oh,
I was
okay.
like,
So
yeah.
sometimes I don't know. Everybody's different, but I feel like when you're really looking at price and you're paying attention and trying to like see it from the 1 minute and scaling it out and trying to
hmm
build your thesis,
hmm
sometimes when you hear like other people's opinions, it'll kind of
hmm
detract you from your own strategy.
And I think that's what happened.
Yeah, and when we backtest, you can see it happening, and you build that narrative. You feel build that voice that's in your head that tells you, okay, this is what I think is going to happen based off of my experience.
hmm
You gotta listen to yourself, and that way, if you're wrong, then you're getting better because you're not going to repeat your mistakes.
Yeah.
But if you're listening to all the other outside sources, you know there's infinite possibilities.
Yeah.
But it's all right. It's when you're dancing with the market, sometimes you got to take one on the chin and keep it moving. The best thing about this is when you pass your top step evaluation, you'll be funded twice the amount. So you have have a better opportunity to get a bigger payout. I don't think Top Step has a limit on how much you can get paid out for your first like 2 months. I know with Apex you're limited to 2,000 every pay period for the first 90 days, I believe.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, it's the first 30 days you can only take 50%.
50%. Okay.
Hmm. And then after that, you could take the full amount.
Okay. That's not bad. Not bad. Yeah, Nasdaq yesterday. It's big rig. This black candle up here.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Potential downside target over here, but hmm. So I mean the plan for tomorrow. I mean, really wait until after news. Because that usually after I have a string of losses and I'm like, all right, I need a reset. I just wait until after news. Sometimes, even if you wait 30 minutes after news, you can see, all right, price has done a whole bunch of wonky stuff. Now you find yourself in a better position to get in, especially if you see a pair that's at an important level, being in yesterday's high, low, or the closing price, and just see how price moves, across that level. We break out, we pull back, and the true move was right there, you know, right after NYC open. So, just waiting. That's the thing. Time's on your side, so um, I mean, let me look back at Nasdaq because I looked at Nasdaq and I wanted to trade it, but I was looking at Nasdaq and S&P trying to find a good entry. Yeah, I had some stuff marked off. There were some good trades to be had because this is right around NYSE open. I wanted to long it after we broke this high, but
Mm-hmm.
I just waited. We saw this, had that same pullback continue. I didn't get into any of that.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had this little consolidation up at the top, broke down, and then continued. But my thing was, we already went in to yesterday's low,
Mm-hmm.
and and we were in a zone. So I didn't know whether price wanted to reject off of that zone or completely violate it. And
Mm-hmm.
based off this prior section, I was like, the Dow Jones to me looked so much clearer.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
Because I have it marked up and I saw how it pushed up. I was like, shit.
yeah, and that's why I put it in the in the chat because when I looked at it, I was like, okay, in the higher time frame, this is making sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we, hold on, yeah, this was the day I think right here because I had it up here 15 minute. No, that wasn't it. That's it right here. Yeah, and we put in this high right here, like 7. So once I saw that, come back. So I drew this little box because this is our little range
Mm-hmm.
coming into NYC open. 9 o'clock, we take out the high, come down lower. 9:30 opens up. We pump up to yesterday's high, wick right above it, pull down, and now we had this type of pattern forming where, right? And
Uh-huh.
the biggest thing for me was in 1 minute we came from one level to another and completely engulfed it.
Mm.
So with that much, um,
Momentum.
exactly, that's the word I'm looking for. With that much momentum, one pattern that I see a lot in momentum trades is we have a big engulfing candle followed by a smaller 1 minute candle right there.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that was okay. We break past the high of this candle, we're probably going to continue pushing up forward because people would try to short this candle. And obviously, we have all this, at and around the previous day's high. So all of this right here was just people trading within this range, and then boom, we shoot right out of it. So I'm willing to take this. And with this trade, I had about a 23 pip stop loss right below that wick. And typically try to keep it at 25 at the max. And that was good for a little over 1 to 2. I didn't put too much risk on this because, again, it's a momentum trade. So if it comes back on you, that's fine. You only list 1R for that. And if I was a little bit more patient and let it go to the level that was marked off at, then, that'd have been a great trade for the week. But for the day, I was completely fine with this. And this is something that you'll see on days where we don't have major red news. We'll work the low, work the high right after NYSE open, and then leading into the new 15-minute candle for the last 15-minute candle of the hour. We'll just have that big push up. And I don't think they had much of, the price never came back really for the rest of the day.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have people trying to short it, and they're just in a range now.
Yeah.
So when you
Getting
see things
cooked.
setting up on it, yeah, it's all right though. It's all right though.
Yeah. Damn.
Don't get discouraged.
I was really trying to work hard to get that first payout.
See, the thing about trading sometimes is, we treat it like a job where it's like we gotta work, and
Mm-hmm.
that work is put in when you back test, and then when you look at charts live. So you just watching it,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes I would like just demo trade, just use a demo account and try to grow it. I used to do that a lot on mobile, but now I just strictly trade on the computer because I feel like, in my mind, it's just like, all right, I'm taking this a little bit more seriously. Like I have like the whole layout on the chart, and I can see it everything. I'm just not on my phone, so I think about my trades a little bit more, and I'm willing to wait to see the candle close and try to get it picture perfect. So, um, you've got your routine and your habit, and it's like you can't force it. It's like when we go to the job or workplace. You want to put in the hours and you're grinding and everything. With this, it's just based off your skill. The better you get at it, at spotting out what your edge is, and then you know putting the money on the line within reason and reproducing that. That's the thing, the consistency. That's all. But understanding yourself and understanding when you're not at your 100%, just dial it back because you just want to live the trade another day. I looked at S&P 2. This wasn't a bad chart today, actually. I stopped looking at it around NYSE Open, right around here. It was kind of a similar move, but you see it came back, whereas the Dow Jones didn't. Actually, this is a pretty good setup for the next day. Check out the high, check out the low, closed and breakout. This is something I would watch for tomorrow.
Okay. I feel like now at this point, I need to work more on my psyche and just make sure I don't do no dumb stuff like that again.
Well, I mean, you know that you have a certain amount of risk each day, and your job is to lose less than what you are prepared to. And by doing that is waiting for the best opportunities. And if you're wrong on one, that's okay, because you have, let's just say you have 3 bullets, right? You can't shoot more than 3 bullets. If you shoot more than 3 bullets, then you're going against your plan, no matter how good the setups look. That's your risk. And if you use more than the bullets that you have, then you got to be okay with the decisions that you made. Unless you're 100% sure that the trade that you're taking that's outside of your trading plan is going to be a winner, I wouldn't take it. And it's easy to think in that moment that you're going to win. But, if you do lose, then, shut the screen, come back in like 30 minutes and just review your trade. That's where we see the most growth, when you look at your losses and be like, in hindsight, all right, what could have I done to turn this into a winner? And you always find the answer that way. But there's a lot of people that'll, look at the losses for a second and then sweep it under the rug and do the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's
I mean, I've done that plenty of times especially in my first year. I'll take a loss and I'll be like, okay, I'll go on YouTube trying to find a signal. I'm trying to like see what the top traders on YouTube or whatever they're doing, try to copy their trades. They'll get in and they'll get out in like 10 pips and made like $2,000-$3,000 while I'm up only like $15. And I'm like, what's going on?
oh,
Yeah, I'm right here.
okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Sounded like it went in and out.
It might have been for a minute.
Yes. Man, how do you keep like? So when you lose like a trade, right? You don't go right back into it. You wait.
Yeah, I mean, if I miss out on a trade, I won't. Like, let's say for instance, um, yeah, we're looking at the hour right now. So hypothetically speaking, I'm thinking all right, I'm going to long in this situation because we had this big move up. We're in this consolidation. I'm at the bottom of the range. I'll go ahead and try to long it over here. That is a huge, okay. And I'm going to say, cool. All right. I don't know why that thing was so huge. All right. As an example, it is about 7 o'clock, and I see that these hour candles are getting smaller, and I'll try to go long, but I want to take it like to this level, and I get stopped out, right? You get stopped out within the next hour. I'll go ahead and wait. Sometimes if you wait 30 minutes to an hour and come back, you'll see a better setup happening. I'll just put on
Yeah.
5 minutes.
I'll be trying to right back in.
And that's how you can compound losses. You got to let a little
Yeah,
bit
that's
of
what
time.
that's exactly what happened today.
Yeah. And I've been a victim to that plenty of times. Plenty of times. But where you make a change, all right, yeah. So we saw that we had this low. We came in, we're consolidating at the low. We're thinking, all right, we might be able to take this higher. And we get stopped out, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes when you wait, so from the moment we get stopped out, we find a better entry. That's not what I'm looking for. Yeah. 2 hours later, right? 2 hours later, you come back. You see at 11 a.m.,
Mhm.
we pull back right into that breakout, and we have an opportunity to get in on the retracement, right? So once we see that price is breaking back up, that'll be the one. Oop, I think I see it over here. So yeah, one up here, two. No, three would be up here. Nah, that's not that type of thing. I mean, strictly, this would be something coming off of closing price as we're accelerating up. This would be our low over here.
Mhm.
Yeah. But yeah, no, you get stopped up over here. 2 hours later, you have an opportunity to get in when you see like prices accelerating out of this area. And yeah, let me see if I can find a better example. That's from a higher time frame zone. Matter of fact, I think in the chat, I'm gonna review one. I think I took a loss last week. Where was it? Yeah, it was on the 21st on NASDAQ.
Mhm.
Let me see if I can put this up on the screen. Yeah. Oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't know you can do that.
That
Yeah.
was a loss.
Yeah. So that first one was a win. When we came back down to that zone, in hindsight, I don't know why, but for some reason I was trying to short it down even lower because I was thinking, all right, we're going to continue this downtrend. And then boom, I get stopped out right at 10 o'clock because I'm thinking the new hour is going to bring us lower. Had
Mhm.
I waited for that high to be broken, I could have got in on the longs, leaving out of that higher time frame zone.
Mhm.
So you see, I took that loss at around 10. I didn't get back into the market until 30 minutes after, right?
Mhm.
I waited. I saw, okay, we got this one right here, two, three. Okay. So I took a long right at the 50. and
Mhm.
I saw that price was just hovering for a couple minutes. So when I was in profit, I trailed my stop and I got out with maybe like 4 or 5 pips in profit until it
Mhm.
came down and violated that zone. Now,
Mhm.
what I noticed was because I got in here because we just wick below number two. So I'm thinking, all right,
Mhm.
this might be four. And of course, five came down. And then that was
Mhm.
the real move later on.
Mhm. Mhm.
So right before 11 o'clock, I took it right around the 50 and got out at the end of the zone. But you see this price eventually hit up to the target over here by number three.
Mhm.
So, looking at this and like reviewing your whole day of all the trades that you've taken, whether it be on one pair or multiple pairs, that's going to help you tremendously because you're going to identify, oh, we're leaving the zone. And, you know, let's just say we've had this level taken out, we had a deeper retracement, and we close back into the zone. All right, it looks like we may actually finish this sequence. And now, if I see this again, I'm gonna be able to hold these trades a little bit more often because there was I think last week as well. I had a trade where it played out perfectly, and I held it up till we got up to the number three area, and that was a pretty good trade. But this one, I think this was like at the end of the day, ended up with maybe $400 in profit off of
Mhm.
Nasdaq alone, and then
Mhm.
I traded the Dow Jones. I had one trade on the Dow Jones, so it was an overall good day, regardless of losses. But
Mhm.
when you take a loss, that means one, you weren't paying attention to something, or
Mhm.
two, it might have been a little bit too early for you to get in.
Yeah.
Right here, I was too early. I didn't wait for a price to really show me the breadcrumbs so I can follow the trail and hop on the
Mhm.
train. I was trying to fight the wave, going against the wave, swimming
Yeah.
upstream. That's what it feels
Mhm.
like when you take losses back to back to back. You're in a kayak going upstream and you're like fighting. At the end of the day, it's just going to wear you out and wear out your account. You don't want to do that. You just want to go with the flow. So, yeah, I mean, as a good rule of thumb, you take a loss, just for some people, it helps them to close the screen. But I think the more you can sit and wait for each 1 minute candle to print out, and you're like, okay, we're about to start a new 30-minute candle. Let me see if I can, tell if, okay, we just put in a bottom wick or a top wick, and let me try to see if I can catch the body of that candle by looking at the 1 minute time frame.
Okay.
Yeah, just watching the candles develop. That's going to be the biggest thing. Like the first trade that was over here by 9:30 on Nasdaq. You see that price aggressively traded down from closing price, leaving a little bit of a zone up there, right? So
Mhm.
we had these three big black candles that closed down red, and followed by this narrow range bullish um, doji candle. So when I saw that we left in the bottom wick, didn't break the low, and we're trading up, I said, all right, this is 9:30. Let's see if we can ride this momentum back up into the zone, which that's exactly what we did. You get out and then wait for price to move. Some people will be getting in on a short when we tap that zone in. And that
Mhm.
a lot of people will argue that would be the better entry. But the best entry is where you can get in and get out.
Mhm.
Yeah. As long as you have an area where it's like, all right, if it comes here, this is gonna be my stop loss and take profit. And then you just manage it based off how price is moving. If you like you get into a trade like this 1 minute candle right here, that's
Mhm.
all you really need if you're able to put some size onto it. And one thing is, a really good rule of thumb to keep in mind is if you see a trade, right, and you see it developing and you have a good stop loss, ask yourself, is this setup good enough for me to put reasonable size on? If it's
Mhm.
not, then ask yourself, is it really worth me trading? more often than not, when you think about that, you'll be able to, go through that process a lot quicker.
Process
And then,
okay.
yeah, and then when you see your setup, you'll be able to instantly recognize it and be like, all right, I'm gonna risk $150 on this, or I'm gonna risk 200. And then once you click that buy or sell button, just assume that money is gone until the trade develops. So when you're in
Mhm.
profit, now you're thinking, all right, I don't want to give this back. You want to
Mhm.
because off like when I was in the break even stage, the part that held me back was I would have a lot of winning trades that turns into losers.
Yeah.
And once I started taking profit off the trade, because I would be in profit a lot of times, but then I would just give it right back and not even
Right.
realize any of it. And that's a habit that, you know, a consistently profitable trader has to be able to consistently take profit and not get greedy. I still find myself getting a little greedy when I see price going up or going down. And that's like the battle that everybody has to face. But, you know, when you master your setups, it takes care of itself. Some people are more comfortable trading on the 5 minute where, they catch one 5 minute candle. That could be, 32 pips could be good for some people. And it's all about, what you're looking for. Now, I think, I guess for you, what kind of R, like what kind of risk to reward are you looking for? Are you trying to hit 1 to 1s, or are you more like 1 to 3 and above? No, I can't hear
Can you hear me?
you. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, no, I said usually 1 to 3, 1 to 2.
1 3 1 2. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Then more often than not, then yeah, yeah. And how? I guess your average stop loss. Do you have like you keep it at like around 25s too, or sometimes I know on Nasdaq it's kind of strange. On Nasdaq, I
Yeah,
find myself with a stop loss around, I'd say 50 the max. I try to keep
50.
around 50,
So I try not.
sometimes 60.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I try not to lose more than like 200, 240. If I
240
lose more than that, yeah,
dollar amount like a day.
yeah. No, no, no.
Okay.
Like per trade.
240 per trade.
Yeah. So like if I take usually like I don't know what happened today. Usually when I take 3 trades, I'm winning at least 1 or 2 of them.
Okay.
So it kind of works out because I'll usually make a little bit more profit than I lose. But today I
Okay.
just shit the bed.
And um, at some stages before you get more experience in it, you're gonna have days where you shit the bed. Unfortunately, sometimes. You can mitigate that by, you know, when you get a couple losses in a row, just step back. Sometimes, just putting your trading on timeout for the day for at
Mhm.
least 30 minutes will help you, like, reset. Even if you just
Mhm.
go outside, get some fresh air, or just, think about, all right, why was I wrong? Just watch price and be like, oh, when you get that aha moment, then, you'll get the inclination of feeling like, all right, I can jump back into this. But again, just give yourself like easy rules to remember. It's like, all right, every single day I'm only going to risk on this $50,000 account. I'm only going to risk $250 a day. Now, with the $250, that can be on one trade idea, or I can split it up in 3 or 4 or 5, however way you want to do it. And then my profit target, if I'm risking this 250, I'm trying to turn it to 500. or so on and so forth. Let's break it down to quick, simple math. So where you see something on the screen, you can make that decision real fast. You don't want to leave anything up to guesswork, because when you leave stuff up to guesswork, you're like, all right, maybe I can do this, that, and the other. You end up losing a lot more. Um, Shoot, I think 2 years ago, I had the biggest loss. Yeah, I think it was around the biggest loss of my career when I was trading oil. Lost like 30, no. I lost about 2,800 in one trade. And I was like, I was sick. I closed the laptop. I went to sleep. that was a tough day. And it took about like 2 or 3 months to recoup from that. But those are the lessons that'll get you disciplined, so you won't have to experience that type of pain again on the account.
Ah, starting fresh tomorrow. New mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Approach it with. Um, I think if I lose, usually around when I lose 200, I'm out. I
Yeah,
don't know. Today I just was like, I threw all the rules outside.
I mean, again, it's a different feeling when you're doing eval as opposed to doing live, because when you're trading on a live account, you feel a little bit more pressure. But the best thing that you
Hmm.
can do is just take all that pressure off your shoulders and just say, hey, it's I have the whole week, and all I need is one good performance on the day. So the less risk that I partake in on, choppy days, or days where I can't see things clearly, the bigger the losses, the bigger the wins are going to be. Because, if you only plan to risk 250 a day and that's your max loss every single time, and you're aiming for 2 times your reward or 3 times, the equity curve is going to be in your favor every single time, as long as you're executing on those setups that practice and back testing. So I'd say, if you want, we can do an earlier back test session tomorrow. Tomorrow's Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow's
Um,
Tuesday.
I'd say like on Eastern time. I don't know what your schedule like is on Tuesday, but I'll be free from like 5 p. Yeah. I'll be free from like 5:30 p.m. for hour and a half, so we can get an hour and a half of just pure price action, just going through and
Hmm.
really identifying what the setup is and reproducing that and showing you on
Yeah,
a day to day, taking
got
one
it.
to
Okay.
two or three trades a day. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 5. I know I usually get off at 5.
Um,
Yeah.
5 Eastern time for me. You're an hour behind.
Yeah, so that would be 5 Eastern time for you. So it'd be like 4 for me.
So all right. So
After
you get off at
6.
5.
Uh,
So when would you be ready?
but it takes me like 30 minutes to get home.
Okay, so like 6 o'clock would be better. 7 o'clock for me.
Yeah.
I could do 7 o'clock for an hour. We can do that. I'll
Yeah.
be ready.
Yeah, so that would work for me.
Okay.
'Cause I gotta drive home.
All right, that
If I
works.
get home, I could get on the computer.
Yeah, and I'll have you, you know, share your screen, and I'll see you. I'll watch your process, and
Okay, for the
I'll share my voice and see what I see. But I'm gonna let you drive the wheel, and we're
but
gonna analyze it.
okay, yeah, I like that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So it's oh yeah, it's about midnight already. Dang.
Yeah.
All right.
Time be flying.
It do. Hey, it's a little quick psychology update. So we just gonna go in tomorrow with risk management at the forefront of my mind, right?
Uh-huh.
We only gonna risk this much. If we hit that, we done for the day. That's it. Because tomorrow is always gonna be a better opportunity. If we remember that and we look like if the Nasdaq is looking like something that you don't even recognize, chances are you'll find a better trade on either gold, oil, or the Dow Jones.
But,
Yeah. Or any other pair, really, because it's all really the same thing. It's just price action at the end of the day.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
And, yes, sir. Thank you so much. I needed that.
Hey, man, I'm here. I'm here to serve. I want to see you winning. I want to see everybody in the community winning. So,
yeah.
We got this.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. So I'll catch you tomorrow.
Yeah, catch you tomorrow.
All right. Peace.
Peace.